The following news is of incredible importance for every person all over the world. Because what is happening now in the United States of America will have a tremendous, lasting and life-changing impact on every nation across the earth. There is undeniable evidence and testimonies and confirmations from the military, the government, international organizations, well-known lawyers that Italy has been involved in stealing the presidential election. In the following video you can see and hear a top lawyer from the Supreme Court in Italy read an affidavit that reveals the very person who was responsible under the direction and instruction of the American embassy in Rome of switching votes, massive numbers of votes from Donald Trump to Joe Biden using advanced military software and satellites.
Professor Alfio D'Urso, lawyer of Via Vittorio Emanuele, Catania, do hereby provide the following affidavit of facts as conveyed in several meetings with a high-level Army Security Services official. Arturo Delia, former head of the IT department of Leonardo Espia, has been charged by the public prosecutor of Naples for technology, data manipulation and implantation of viruses in the main computers of Leonardo SPA in December 2020, under instruction and direction of US persons working from the US Embassy in Rome, undertook the operation to switch data from the US election of 3rd November 2020 from significant margin of victory from Donald Trump to Joe Biden in a number of states where Joe Biden was losing the vote totals. Defendant states that he was working in Pescara facility of Leonardo SPA and utilized military-grade cyber warfare encryption capabilities to transmit switched votes via military satellite of Fushino Tower to Frankfurt, Germany. The defendant swears that the data in some cases may have been switched to represent more than total voters registered. The defendant states he is willing to testify to all individuals and entities involved in the switching of votes from Donald Trump to Joe Biden when he shall be in total protection from himself and his family. Defendant states he has secured in an undisclosed location the backup of the original data and data switched upon instruction to provide evidence at court in this matter. I hereby declare and swear the above stated facts have been stated in my presence.
How do we know if this is true? Well, first of all, I did some research and I checked if this man is indeed a registered lawyer in Italy. I went on the Italian website that lists all attorneys and lawyers, and indeed, when I put in his name, all his information showed up. I even found an old ID of this man, which seems to be some sort of an ID for lawyers. I also saw that several national newspapers in Italy have already covered this story in depth. This election theft was uncovered by Nations in Action. This is an organization that has been working for decades to preserve election integrity and expose election fraud. Maria Zak from Nations in Action went on the talk show America Can We Talk, where she explains what they have discovered.
We actually know the person who actually committed the act of uploading the software, where they did it, how they did it, and that has been put into an affidavit with the top lawyer of Italy, and was part of a proceeding, a judicial proceeding in a federal court in Italy in the past couple days. So news has been breaking. Italy did it is the global trending hashtag, and it is for a reason. This happened. It's very real. The president is right. Foreign interference did occur, and people need to be prosecuted in our country.
Sidney Powell is probably the most famous lawyer in America right now. She has led more than 500 federal lawsuits. She has been fighting the past months to expose the dazzling election fraud that is so obvious. She posted this story on her website with a big black banner that directs to several news articles, press releases, and PDF documents that show what is going on. Even General Thomas McInerney confirmed that this is true. This retired general of the United States Air Force has worked with several presidents, and he explains that indeed Italy was involved in stealing the election, but he adds something very interesting.
There's a person who is telling the world what Italy's role was using the satellite, Italian government satellite. Leonardo, yeah, I was hunting for Leonardo da Vinci, but the Leonardo, and they were changing votes, but there were many countries that were doing that, but it had to be controlled from China using hammer and scorecard, in my opinion, because you couldn't have so many different attacks, because you'd be changing numbers in all the 50 states. It just wouldn't match up. That has to be synchronized.
So according to General McInerney, Italy is not the only nation. Nations around the world have been working together to steal the American election. The question is, why would they do that? What is going on here? Why do nations all around the world collaborate in an effort to remove President Trump from office and install Joe Biden? The answer is that President Trump has always opposed the New World Order. In the past, the New World Order was pushed by many world leaders. For example, President Bush.
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge, a new era. What is at stake is more than one small country. It is a big idea, a new world order.
A new world order, a new consensus as to how life should and could be lived, as to how life should and could be lived.
President Trump took a bold stand against this plan.
Each of us here today is the emissary of a distinct culture, a rich history, and a people bound together by ties of memory, tradition, and the values that make our homelands like nowhere else on earth. That is why America will always choose independence and cooperation over global governance, control, and domination. I honor the right of every nation in this room to pursue its own customs, beliefs, and traditions. The United States will not tell you how to live or work or worship. We only ask that you honor our sovereignty in return.
Another driving force behind the New World Order is the multi-billionaire George Soros. In the following clip you can hear how he says that President Trump will be removed from office so that he's no longer an obstacle for them.
Clearly, I consider the Trump administration a danger to the world, but I regard it as a purely temporary phenomenon that will disappear in 2020.
Another major player in the New World Order is the World Economic Forum, founded by Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab said in a public statement that the COVID pandemic is perfect to start a new world order and implement what they call the Great Reset. The Great Reset means that every resource all over the world will become governed by these globalists, by a small number of people who will have full control over every aspect of human life.
Now is the historical moment, the time, not only to fight severe virus, but to shape the system, to shape the system, to shape the system.
The Australian Minister of Health even publicly admitted, unconsciously, that COVID is the New World Order.
We must treat this New World Order, this new world of COVID, we must treat this new world of COVID, even in our own homes, with a high level of care and caution. We must treat this new world order, this new world of COVID.
The way the New World Order is being imposed is through fear. These globalists continually announce and organize global disasters. For example, the current pandemic has been organized by Bill Gates and the Johns Hopkins University and the World Economic Forum and so on. On the website stopworldcontrol.com you can see all the evidence for this horrendous claim. President Trump knows their scheme of always announcing disaster, announcing doom, and then saying the solution is that all the control of the world needs to come in our hands, and then we will protect humanity from everything that we are announcing and actually secretly preparing. During a speech at the World Economic Forum 50th anniversary, President Trump poked them in the eye and showed them that he knows what they're doing and that he will not play their little game.
We're committed to conserving the majesty of God's creation and the natural beauty of our world. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. These alarmists always demand the same thing: absolute power to dominate, transform, and control every aspect of our lives. We will never let radical socialists destroy our economy, wreck our country.
So it is very clear that President Trump is a major obstacle for the New World Order. That's why he has been working so hard to rebuild America, because the plan is to destroy every individual nation, throw humanity into poverty, and then offer their solution, which is the Great Reset. Basically, that will be massive global communism. People will not be able to own anything, but they will be cared for by the government. So everyone will be a slave of these globalist powers. America, however, has been rebuilt by President Trump, and that makes it a huge obstacle for these guys. And one of the spokespersons for the New World Order made it clear that they are not happy with this.
And it is a dangerous country right now. It will be absolutely dangerous if Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election. Trump wins re-election.
So now we see the big picture. We understand why this election needed to be rigged by nations around the world who are conspiring together to impose this New World Order. That is why this is of critical importance for people around the world. If you want to see evidence of everything I said about the pandemic actually being a plandemic, then I encourage you again, go to the website stopworldcontrol.com, and we have a documentary which has been viewed by millions of people around the world that is called Proof That the Pandemic Was Planned with a Purpose. I encourage you to take a few minutes and have a good look at this documentary, and you will see that what I'm saying is backed up by undeniable fact. So go to stopworldcontrol.com and also share this page. Share the video, but also share the page. Send it to people in your community, to people in government, people in law enforcement, every person you can send an email to who has a position of leadership. We have to awaken the world. So share this wherever you can. Thank you very much.